This morning, let's explore Buddha's mustard seed discourse. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso doing his best imitation of Harmony Granger. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. This is the Lama you are looking for. This morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as Obi-Wan Kenobi upon the toasty, toasty sands of Tatooine, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. If at any point during this morning's live stream you have a question, there is no need to be shy. I should rephrase it. If at any point this morning you have a question about meditation or philosophy or even chanting, there is no need to be shy. Simply type your question in the chat window in the right-hand side of the screen. Unless, of course, you're watching a replay, then you'll want to type your question in the comment area below the video. Let's explore the mustard seed discourse. It's from the Buddhist parables translated by E.W. Burlingame. Gotami was her family name, but because she tired easily, she was called Kisa Gotami, or Frail Gotami. She was reborn at Savatthi in a poverty-stricken house. When she grew up, she married, going to the house of her husband's family to live. There, because she was the daughter of a poverty-stricken house, they treated her with contempt. And by the way, this has happened so many times in the past that it is a standard fare in Bollywood productions, which is appalling and tragic. This state of affairs, not Bollywood productions. Let's continue. After a time, she gave birth to a son. Then they accorded her respect. But when that boy of hers was old enough to play and run hither and about, he died. Sorrow sprang up within her, thought she. Since the birth of my son, I, who was once denied honor and respect in this very house, have received honor and respect. These folk may even seek to cast my son away. Taking her son on her hip, she went about from one house door to another, saying, "Give me medicine for my son." Whenever people encountered her, they said, "Where did you ever meet with medicine for the dead?" So saying, they clapped their hands and laughed in derision, which is horrible. How could you laugh at a woman mourning the death of her son? Let's continue. She had not the slightest idea what they meant. Drama much? Now a certain wise man saw her and thought, this woman must have been driven out of her mind by sorrow for her son. But medicine for her, no one else is likely to know. The sage of the 10 forces alone is likely to know. Said he, "Woman, as for medicine for your son, there is no one else who knows. The sage of the 10 forces, the foremost individual in the world of men and the world of the gods, resides at a neighboring monastery. Go to him and ask." The man speaks the truth, thought she. Taking her son on her hip, she took her stand in the outer circle of the congregation around the seated Buddha, and said, "O exalted one, give me medicine for my son." The teacher, seeing that she was ripe for understanding, said, "You did well, Gotami, in coming hither for medicine." Go to the city, make the rounds of the entire city, beginning at the beginning. And in whatever household no one has ever died, from the house fetch tiny grains of mustard seed. Very well, Reverend Sir, said she. Delighted in heart, she entered within the city. At the very first house said, The sage of the 10 forces bids me fetch tiny grains of mustard seed for medicine for my son. Give me tiny grains of mustard seed. Alas, go to me, said they, and brought and gave to her. This particular seed I cannot take, for in this household someone has died. What say you, go to me? Here it is impossible to count the dead. Well then, enough, I cannot take it. The sage of the 10 forces did not tell me to take mustard seed from a household where anyone has ever died. In the same way, she went to the second house, and the third, and the fourth. Finally, she understood, in the entire city, this must be the way. The Buddha, full of compassion for the welfare of mankind, must have seen. Overcome with emotion, she went outside of the city, carried her son to the burning ground, and holding him in her arms, said, Dear little son, I thought that you alone had been overtaken by this thing which men call death. But you are not the only one death is overtaken. This is a law common to all mankind. So saying, she cast her son away in the burning ground. Then she uttered the following stanza. No village law, no law of market town, no law of a single house is this. Of all the world and all the worlds of gods, there is only one law. All things are impermanent. Impermanence, my friend, is not something to be believed or clung to rigidly. It's something anyone can observe, not the superstitious, not those given to skullduggery. Everyone recognizes change. We see the changing of the seasons. We see the waxing and the waning of the moon. We see the rising and the setting of the sun. We feel the swell and sinking of our chest with every passing breath. Ever changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. The Buddha did not teach impermanence in a vacuum or to frighten us with tales of hell, real or imagined. Impermanence is merely a tool to help us to let go, not to be aloof, but to let go and help free us from the tyranny of our primal drives of shoving and reaching and clinging. I'd like to take approximately 15 seconds for housekeeping. If there are lessons you'd like to request, or if you simply wish to support the continued availability of these classes and the next generation of lamas, capture the Patreon QR code to the right, or simply click the link in the description area below the video. So let us play with this latest iteration of Easy Buddha Mantra. Like an athlete warming up for the big game, let us warm up our neural pathways of love and enthusiasm by performing a recitation of bodhicitta and refuge. May I liberate all beings by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. Okay, so here's how we're going to play this. During the inhalation, I'm going to silently and mentally recite rhetorical questions. During the exhalation, as we chant this 12-syllable mantra, we're going to physically relax as best we can. We don't have to believe, we don't have to visualize, we don't have to emote, we don't have to figure things out. If all we do is blend these words with our observant inhalation and our relaxing exhalation, we will make progress on the path. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. By the way, obviously we're exploring circumstances for the next 4 exercises. Or I should say for this set of 4 exercises. Muni 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 ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Let us explore the overlapping Venn diagram of the physical and the stressful. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Ask any teenage girl who's ever looked in the mirror and said, I hate blank 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 about myself. She'll tell you, hating our physiques can be stressful. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Vying just means competing. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. All these questions are rhetorical. Asking them helps really to train the mind, give us greater skill upon the path of love and letting go. Let us explore the overlapping Venn diagram of the interpersonal and the stressful. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. Muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuwa muni muni ma muni yesuha. ha. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. O muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. O muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. O muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. Going to shift gears now. We're going to explore, we're going to now blend compassion with the 3 marks of reality. Sounds very impressive, does it not? You could think of these past 16 rhetorical questions as preliminary practices. Now we're ready for the first course. Excuse me, I must take a moment to hose my nose. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. The compassionate wish to soothe all other beings' stressful circumstances. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. We play with this final rhetorical question not to unlock an arcane secret, just to get more and more comfortable with the idea of letting go. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. We're going to play with the same 4 exercises, this time adapted to the physical. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. Muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esawa muni muni ma muni esoha. let us now bring the interpersonal into the compassionate path of the 3 marks of reality. There we go. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. And let us conclude with the mental. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. Muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu wa muni muni ma muni yesu ha. We now shift gears from mantra meditation to silent meditation, but it's ostensibly the same things. We're going to alternate, like playing ping pong, between these 1 repetition of each of these 4 contemplations, and then 12 to 13 repetitions of the essence of mindfulness and meditation. It's 23 minutes after the hour. Let us practice silent meditation. So let's take a moment to answer the musical question, how, oh how, can you count to 12 on just 4 fingers and 1 thumb? May I introduce to you Bengali crease counting. Consider the fingers of your left hand. Each finger has 3 sets of creases and a tip. So we can count to 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Or, in our situation, we can count the first contemplation, the second contemplation, the third contemplation, the fourth contemplation, and then 12 essential mindfulness meditations. So this is how to count to 16 on one hand. On the other hand, if you wanted to, you could count sets of 16. 16 sets of 16 would give you 256. And 2 of that would give you 512. Pretty cool, huh? The third enlightenment factor is energy. So don't be afraid to inhale enthusiastically. let us explore the magic ambiguity of pronouns. All of us come from factory equipped with controlling tendencies that usually, spiritually speaking, shoot ourselves in the foot. Those controlling tendencies find their way into our meditations and contemplations, trying to specifically name what we are experiencing. By substituting proper nouns with pronouns, the most generic of pronouns, I should say proximal pronouns, we set the scene or set space to go with the flow for that which we notice is evanescent and permanent and prone to change. Let us seal this morning's abbreviated practice with a handful of chants. May all the home of martyrs, non-humans, and so forth be overcome. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. May they be thoroughly pacified. May all kinds of interferences, diseases, and possessing spirits be pacified. May all be separated from unfavorable conditions. And may all experience favorable conditions and everything excellent. Through this fortune may there be at this time happiness, peace, health, and good fortune. May all beings like the Buddha, master being, flexible, loving, laid-back, egalitarian, cooperative, and kind. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness through spontaneous and uncontrived. May all beings like the Buddha master the Eightfold Path as well as liberate others. May each being take auspicious rebirth, master the Buddha's Eightfold Path, and then help all others do likewise. May everyone be free from stress, may everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel I have earned it, please type something in the chat window, give this live stream a thumbs up, and share it on social media. In approximately 11 or so hours, we could return to explore memories, meditation, and peace, as well as chant and meditate some more. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me,